Screams, chaos, steel clashing. Freya's shield splits the fog as she charges into battle at Fýrisvellir. Blood streaks the grass. Why did a Swedish woman lead Vikings today? Freya's ice-blue glare meets the enemy kings. She roars an ancient Norse war cry. The front line trembles. Shields splinter. Warriors fall. Bjorn, red-haired and scarred, storms to Freya's side. He hurls a spear past her shield, sending a rival spinning into the mud. Astrid, youngest on the line, ducks an axe and counters with a flash of her blue-marked shield. A surprise blade slice topples her foe. King Eric watches from a hilltop, eyes blazing from within gilded armor. He signals the next wave. His army forms a phalanx below. Freya locks shields with Astrid, mother and daughter. Hold the line! Spattered with mud, they counter a fresh surge of enemy spears. Suddenly, a horn blares. Enemy reinforcements thunder through the mist. Freya's eyes widen. Unexpected numbers threaten her flank. Freya barks new orders. Astrid, trembling, forms the rear guard. Bjorn grins, battle-mad, swinging his axe as the cavalry closes. The first horseman crashes into the line. Shields rattle. Freya jams her decorated shield, knocking rider and horse to the ground. King Eric's banner rises higher. His war cry pierces the uproar. Enemy and ally alike pause, momentarily awed by his presence. Freya's wolf fur cloak is torn as another enemy slashes at her. She pivots, blood on her shield. Her resolve only hardens. Bjorn grabs Freya's arm, pulling her out of another deadly strike. Not today, he growls, pushing her back toward safety. Astrid blocks a spear meant for Freya. Her shield splinters. Still, she stands, shaking, feet planted in churned-up mud. More enemy Shieldmaidens enter the fray. Freya recognizes a rival from childhood, a grudge on each face. Blades glint in the dawn. Battle cries rise. Freya leaps forward, her sword clashing against her rivals. Sparks fly, neither yields an inch. Bjorn barrels through enemy lines, clearing a path with brute force. "Shield wall! Push forward!" he yells, voice raw. Astrid finds herself cut off, separated by fallen bodies. She keeps moving, pushing through panic, seeking her mother's face. Freya, swords locked with her rival, recognizes an old scar. Pain flashes in her eyes. Past betrayal fuels her rage. King Eric commands his royal guard forward, aiming to pierce Freya's flank. His voice is ruthless. Break them now. Freya, breathless, spots Eric's guard closing in. She shouts for Bjorn. Their eyes meet. One look, 100 words. Hold or die. Bjorn forms a barrier, axes and shields tight. Horses thunder. Shields shiver under the impact, but the line holds for now. Astrid faces 3 foes at once, spinning with her short sword. Mud and blood spray. She fears, but the enemy falters. Suddenly, enemy horns signal retreat. Confusion ripples. Freya blinks. Did they win, or is this a trap? Without warning, arrows rain from the woods. Freya yells, "Down!" as shafts strike shields and flesh. The ambush is on. Bjorn takes an arrow to the shoulder, but grins through pain. He snaps the shaft, never leaving the line. King Eric drops his arm, face thunderous. "Archers, release!" His own bowmen target Freya's Shieldmaidens. Freya shields Astrid with her battered wolf cloak. An arrow slices the hem, narrowly missing Astrid's leg. The ground is a shredded chaos. Bodies, arrows, toppled banners. But Freya slams her sword to the mud. "We survive! We fight!" Bjorn signals Astrid. Together, they drag wounded away. Freya waves new fighters forward. Nobody gets to rest. King Eric consults a shadowy figure, a mysterious advisor unseen until now. New strategies take shape in the haze. Crows gather on a bare tree. Freya takes it as a sign. Gods are watching. Or maybe warning? Freya circles her battered shield mates. "We press on. You fear the gods, but fear me more," she dares, voice unyielding. At the edge of the carnage, Astrid helps a foe's child escape. She flinches, unsure. Mercy or betrayal? Bjorn spies enemy movement near the river. "Scouts crossing!" he shouts. Freya signals an urgent pursuit. Two of Eric's elite warriors ambush Freya on muddy banks. One slams into her shield, the other aims for her back. Freya drops low, sweeping the riverbank with her sword. The first attacker tumbles, but the second closes in, teeth bared. Swords clash and shields splinter. Freya's war cry cuts through the chaos as she bursts into the river mist. Bjorn staggers by her side, bloody but unstoppable. Astrid, separated but fearless, shouts Freya's name while fending off two armored spearmen. Her sword flashes, parrying a brutal thrust. On screen, Fýrisvellir, 985 AD. Freya signals her shield maidens, "Hold fast." Arrows rain again, shattering shields. The riverbank erupts with cries. King Eric, high on a ridge, watches with narrowed eyes. His advisor whispers, unrolling a strange runic scroll. Eric nods grimly. Freya's shield buckles under a spear, but she counters, smashing the attacker's helmet. Blood spatters the mud. She fights for survival. Bjorn, limping and grimacing, pulls another arrow from his thigh. He shouts rallying words, rallying warriors behind him. Astrid darts between the enemy ranks, sword flicking, swift and agile, turning defense into attack. She knocks down a larger Viking. Freya spots Astrid, her heart pounding. She cuts a path through the melee, desperate to reach her daughter before the enemy does. Suddenly, Eric's elite guard, towering and immaculately armed, charge from the tree line, driving a wedge between Freya's and Astrid's groups. Freya takes a crushing shield blow to the ribs. Gasping, she locks eyes with Astrid across the chaos, vowing not to lose her only child here. Suddenly, a deafening war horn echoes. Freya staggers, blood streaking her brow, as Eric's elite cavalry thunder across the muddy plain, smashing into her battered line. Freya screams Astrid's name. Astrid, shield raised, ducks a spear and glimpses her mother through the crowd, too far to reach as horsemen break her group apart. Bjorn bellows, rallying wounded men to hold firm. Blood drips from a thigh wound, but his axe flashes, fending off two armored riders at once. King Eric watches from his hilltop, cold and composed. His advisor, hooded, whispers into his ear, while Eric's blue eyes never leave the chaos below. Freya dodges a lance, rolls under a horse, and comes up swinging. She knocks a cavalryman from his mount, then signals her shield maidens to regroup. Astrid finds herself facing a giant, axe-wielding foe. She hesitates, fear rising. Then, with a sharp breath, she charges forward, blade singing. Bjorn limps toward Freya, swinging his shield to protect fallen comrades. He shouts. Someone set fire to their supply carts by the river. Freya signals, racing toward the fire even as arrows start to fall from hidden archers. She shouts for Astrid, voice cracking with desperation. King Eric nods to his advisor, who gestures cryptically toward Freya. Suddenly, Eric's hornblowers signal an unexpected retreat. Confusion sweeps the field. Watchers on both sides freeze, uncertain. Freya's shield maidens tighten ranks, unsure if this is a trick. Bjorn growls. It must be a trap. Astrid sprints across the mud, dodging fallen bodies and angry survivors. She leaps a low barricade, desperate to reach her mother. Freya locks eyes with Astrid, then barrels through the swirling mist to embrace her daughter. Relief floods over both, but the moment is brief. Suddenly, A guttural roar breaks the silence. A group of Eric's shock troops, hidden behind a ridge, charge straight for Freya and Astrid. Bjorn dives forward, intercepting the first two attackers. His shield splinters, but he fights back to back with Freya. Astrid takes a blow on her shield, skids back, then thrusts her sword low, unseating an enemy. Her eyes are wild, determined. Freya is cornered by an elite guard, a childhood rival. They trade vicious blows, old grudges fueling every strike. Bjorn's wound tears open as he fends off another enemy. He grits his teeth, swinging his axe with desperate strength, refusing to fall. King Eric signals. More archers line the hill above the field, dreary bows aimed at Freya's warriors. The sky darkens with arrow clouds. "Shields!" Freya roars, barely blocking a shaft that pierces her cloak. Warriors scramble, crouching under battered shields as arrows hammer down. Astrid glances left. One of her friends collapses, wounded. She crawls through the dirt, dragging the girl behind a shield as arrows keep falling. Bjorn, gasping, shields two exhausted men. He catches a stray arrow with his shield, then helps one wounded boy stagger out of the storm of arrows. Freya rallies her warriors, shouting, "We hold until the last!" Her voice cuts over the terror. Shieldmaidens scream back, all defiance and hope. On the hillside, Eric's advisor leans close again, whispering new counsel. Eric frowns, staring at Freya, clearly unsettled. Suddenly, Bjorn lurches to his feet, rallying the survivors for one last stand. "With Freya!" he bellows, the rally cry taken up across the mud. Astrid wipes tears from her face, swinging her sword with renewed courage. She helps a wounded boy defend his position on the battered front. Eric's elite guard advance again, faces grim, moving with mechanical discipline. They tighten the noose, step by relentless step, toward Freya. Freya faces her childhood rival again. This time, she feints, knocks the rival's sword aside, and takes her prisoner in a single, fluid motion. Astrid, battered, slumps beside her mother. Freya pulls her up, no time to rest. This fight is not over. They lock eyes, new resolve burning. Bjorn throws his last axe, felling an enemy leader just meters from reaching Freya. He lets out a victorious, pain-filled laugh. King Eric, furious and desperate, orders a final charge. His elite rush in, determined to end Freya's defiance once and for all. The ground shakes with the weight of charging warriors. Freya lifts her shield and leads the counterattack. Her scream echoes across the valley. Astrid and Bjorn join Freya, side by side. The trio fight back to back, hacking down foes in a desperate swirl of chaos. Their line bends, but does not break. Freya, bloodied but unbowed, locks eyes with Eric across the field. He hesitates. The fate of Sweden hangs in the balance. Eric's men falter, whispers spread. "Can't break them! The Valkyrie stands!" In the swirl of battle, hope shifts. With a savage yell, Freya leads one last furious charge into Eric's lines. Her Shieldmaidens rally, singing their war song. The future is decided now. As dust settles, the battered survivors look up. Victory hangs in the air, but Freya's glare says it's not over. King Eric vanishes into the mist. A hush falls. Freya raises her sword, battered, but victorious. But in the shadows, Eric's advisor recites an ancient curse, setting the stage for the next battle. On-screen text, Fýrisvellir, 985 AD. As threats grow in the north, Freya must lead her people to the next decisive battle. Will her courage hold? Watch the next episode, The Siege of Uppsala.